The OnePlus 13, everybody. Look at that. That's such a sexy looking phone, isn't it? Such a good looking phone. Look at that. This is my first Hasselblad camera, everybody. So I recently got my hands on the OnePlus 13, and I must say, it's an impressive phone. This is my first experience with a OnePlus device, and also my first time using an Android phone after 4 years using the iPhone 13 Pro. While I appreciated the iPhone for its strengths, especially in the computational photography, I found it to be increasingly limiting. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing on what matters to me as a photographer who loves capturing moments. You're not going to find any gaming content here or any reviews of me, using this phone as a gaming device. Instead, I'll just walk you through the OnePlus 13's designs, performance, battery life, and camera capabilities. I won't bore you with every spec. I'll just highlight what I genuinely enjoyed about using this phone as a content creator. Right off the bat, when I did the unboxing of this phone, what I noticed was this huge ass screen. And coming from the iPhone 13 Pro, this was significantly larger. But after a few hours with it, it was hard for me to go back to the iPhone screen. I do not like the iPhone screen anymore. It's small. The text on the iPhone seems fuzzy. After experiencing the OnePlus's bright 2K display, it's truly awesome. The screen also gets bright. I'm thinking that it's a bit too bright sometimes. It's brighter than my iPhone for sure. I also opted for the black color, and I think it looks so sleek. This phone is slick, and I just love the aesthetics of this phone. Look at this. Oh my god, what a good looking phone. I just really like how this phone is really designed. Oh my god, what a beautiful phone. I really like how it's like bezel-less free. There's like no bezels. And an underrated feature that I like from this phone is the switch on the side, the toggle switch on the side right here to make your phone go from vibrate to silent mode and to ring mode. I really think that's a neat feature to have. Another thing that I like on this phone is the fingerprint scanner. I never experienced anything like this before, okay? All I have on iPhone is the Face ID unlock, and holy cow, the fingerprint scanner is so much faster than the Face ID unlock. OnePlus also has a face recognition unlock as well, and it's a lot faster than the iPhone 13 Pro, that's for sure. So it's like super quick. Now, as someone who lives in Europe, we do not get the free charging brick that comes with this phone like the other people in the other parts of the world. That's just some sort of rule that they have within the EU. But I did buy a 100 watts brick for the supercharging, which I will talk more about later when I discuss the battery life. Now, when it comes to the operating system, this is the Oxygen OS. I thought this is really good. I thought this is a really good OS. It's not like Samsung that I have owned before. It does not have all that unnecessary bloatware that comes when you buy a Samsung phone. So I find that the OnePlus OS experience is close and similar to Apple. So for someone like me who was used to the Apple operating system for 4 years, coming to this phone, there was a sense of familiarity already, and it makes the transition from Apple to the OnePlus a little bit smoother. I like reading emails on this phone because of the sharp and bright screen. I also like viewing content on this phone as well. It's just so amazing to watch your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebooks, shorts, watching Netflix on this screen, reviewing some shots that I took. I really enjoy using this screen a lot. This is like by far the best screen that I've ever experienced on a smartphone. When I was just scrolling and navigating with this phone, I noticed how quick and snappy everything was. There was like no hiccups with like opening apps or anything like that. And I guess this is where that new chipset comes in, the Snapdragon 8 Elite comes in handy. So it was like really quick. When it comes to the battery life, this is my favorite thing about this freaking phone. It's so freaking good. I don't get the 2 full day use that some people were claiming, but in order to get that, you need to like not have your screen on high resolution, and you also have to have always on display turned off. I like my screen to be at the highest resolution as possible because I want to experience and view content in that resolution. I also use this phone to listen to Audible, listen to podcasts, use Android Auto to listen to music, go to the gym and listen to Spotify for like 3 hours. And by the end of the day, I still got like 30% battery left. And I don't start charging my phone until midnight. That's how good this battery is. I would get up at 8 o'clock where the charge is at 100%. And the battery, when it gets to around midnight, that's when I wind down and go to sleep. It's around 11%. It all depends on the usage, so your mileage may vary. When I was using my iPhone for the same things, I would have to start charging my iPhone around 4 p.m. So having this 6,000 milliamp hour battery on the OnePlus has been a game changer for me. This has been such a great experience. Now, since the EU regulations don't allow for that charging brick to be included in the phone like the Americans do, I actually bought a 100-watt charging brick off Amazon. Holy crap, this is the fastest I've ever seen a phone charge to 100. The iPhone 13 Pro, forget about it. It probably takes you like an hour to get to 100 from like 10%. With the charging brick that I got, I honestly got to 100% in less than 40 minutes. It's so freaking insane how quick it charges. Like, I'm so impressed. Now, sometimes I go like, make some food, I cook. I'll check the battery status every 10 minutes, and I'm just so like amazed by how quick it charges. Like, I'm just like looking at it and I was like, what the fuck? Is this for real? Like, it was at 10 like 10 minutes ago. Now it's at like 50. Then I check again. I'm like, holy shit, is that 80? What's going on? So I really enjoy the quick charging feature. It's incredibly convenient and very impressive. Okay, so let's talk about this phone's camera. This is technically my first Hasselblad camera. Now, people online were claiming how OnePlus cameras are the weak points of this camera. Now, coming from the iPhone 13 Pro, I don't know anything about the 14, 15, or 16. I thought the pictures coming out of this phone performs better, and I do like the photos coming out of the OnePlus over my iPhone 13 Pro. I went out to lunch like a couple of weeks ago, and I was showing everybody at the table this new phone that I got, and they wanted to know about the specs and all that. They wanted to know if the camera was good, and I thought, let's just test it out. So I borrowed an iPhone and I took some photos side by side, and several people preferred the photos on the OnePlus 13, which is a good sign. When it comes to shooting portraits, I think whatever OnePlus's software is doing in here is actually great. The colors look great, the skin tones look beautiful. This Hasselblad partnership, whatever it is, it's amazing. A portrait mode looks really good. The skin tones look great. I do wish it was a little bit warmer. The bokeh on the portrait mode looks so good. There are some cases where I do see like, the computational processing not working at times. Sometimes they don't blur out the ears as well, but for the most part, it did a fantastic job. It almost looks so freaking natural in some cases. And in some cases, I can't tell if this was taken on a smartphone or like a mirrorless camera. That's how good these images look to me. Now, the shallow depth of field on this camera is legit. There are some photos that I took and I thought, wow, like the depth reminds me of a medium format camera. So Hasselblad, if this has anything to do with you, good job. Like I said, it's not like the depth of field thing works all the time. In some cases, it was a little bit messy, or when there were like, too many people in the frame, the one person that is further from my point of focus, the phone will see that second person and not blur them out as part of the bokeh. So it will keep the second subject not blurred, and that's something that they got to work on. I guess that's something that it could be addressed in a firmware update. I'm not too sure. It doesn't work all the time, but when it hits, I'm really, really impressed. The images look sharp. It looks amazing. And again, the computational software, again, it does such a good job with like balancing the dynamic range as well. This is something that the mirrorless cameras can't do just yet. I took this shot right here, and you can see that this person is in the shadows, and in the background you see the light hitting, the houses and the buildings in the background. Now, if you were to do this on the mirrorless camera, then you're going to get your highlights blown off because of the dynamic range. I really do like how smart the software has gotten, how quick the software has evolved over time. And I actually think it does a nice job at balancing from the shadows to the highlights. Overall, it's just been super, super positive. If you want, you can always go in and, edit the images yourself. You can now retouch skin, fix some skin textures, and do a little bit of spot healing, and even adjust like the shape of your face, eyes, and many more. You need to do what I usually do with a mirrorless camera, and that is to take the memory card out of the camera, dump the photos into Lightroom, and look through all the images and pick the ones I like and pick the ones to retouch. You can just do all of that in your phone. In portrait mode, you can only shoot like with 3x zoom, and that gives you like a focal range of like 73mm, 2x is 48, and 1x is 23mm. And in actual photo mode, you can actually go as wide as 0.6x, which gives you like an ultra wide focal length. and it can go as high as 6x zoom, which is 143 millimeters. This is a lot of reach for anyone out there. You basically get an ultra wide at 15 all the way to the telephoto at 143. So I was really happy experimenting with these options out when I was like walking around town. When it comes to my social media needs and my content creation needs, I think this camera is more than capable of doing its job, you know, on Instagram, TikTok. The photo quality and the video quality, it looks pretty good in the end. The video quality looks nice as well. I filmed some 4K 30 stuff recording my lifts at the gym, and I'm really happy with the results. Now, when it comes to the 8K 30, I've shot with it, and I can't believe how sharp it looks on this screen. And I don't think I'm the type of person to ever record 8K video on this phone. I'm happy with just 4K on its own. And I think in capable hands, if you're filming some social media content, OnePlus 13 can get the job done for you. I love the photo quality coming out of this phone. I love the colors. I love how there's so many focal lengths in this one camera phone. And the portrait mode is insane. I'm not even discussing raw photos because I never really used my phone in that scenario. So I prefer to let the software handle its thing. Now, if I want to edit photos in raw, I would use one of my mirrorless cameras. However, for quick captures, the OnePlus 13 is perfect. It's convenient. It offers all the focal ranges you need. The colors and depth of field from this phone is really impressive. Almost mirrors what you get on a mirrorless camera. Sometimes I can't even tell. I was thinking, I'm like, this looks like it could be shot on a mirrorless camera, a DSLR camera. So I still need to test this phone a little bit further, but as for now, this is probably the best smartphone camera that I've used. I actually prefer it more than to Apple's, but take that with a grain of salt and see it for yourself. However, the camera is just one part that I really enjoyed. Another standout feature is the insane battery life. I love how quick and snappy this phone is. From the fingerprint scanner to the face unlock to, you know, just fast loading apps compared to my previous iPhone. So it's been super snappy. It's been such a great experience so far. So yeah, great job OnePlus for making such a fantastic phone and, you know, making the transition from Apple to Android seamless. I really appreciate that. Now, if you find this video helpful, consider subscribing for more content like this. So what are your thoughts on the OnePlus 13? Do you have it? Do you own it? Let me know down in the comment section below. And thanks so much.